What is going on, everybody? The body's driving. 3 seconds. Fading. Shooting. We need Philly United in the chat. Let's go, Tamales.
Some of the fans sensing a possible career high. Hits for three. Finally leaving alone after that. Hits for three.
Yes, sir. Agua Yeah, what is going on, everybody? I don't even know what to say right now. Like, first off, the reason I came on here a few minutes late is because I just cashed in on my 14 parlay. Shout out to the Green Bay Packers for getting it done after giving me a heart attack. But when it comes to this Eagles game, like, the Philadelphia Eagles win 21-18 against the Carolina Panthers. And honestly, this was I feel like every week I say this, but this was the biggest roller coaster that I've seen of a game in a long time. Like, I just I don't know. Like, how does this even happen? What just happened in that game? Like, I thought I thought the Eagles were down and out of the count. I thought that there was no coming back, and then they sucked me back in, and then we gave it up again. And it's like, how did we win that game? How did we win that game? The Eagles did so many bad things in that game, and they found a way to win somehow. Honestly, that if you want to look at it in a sense of kind of saving the season per se, like, if we lose this game today, and then we're probably going to lose on Thursday to the Bucks, I mean, we were looking at the season being done, honestly. Like, I'm talking about no interest at all. And I just I don't even know how we won that game, to be honest. We'll start in the fourth quarter. The Eagles are just coming down, and obviously Jalen Hurts gave the ball away a couple times. Then there was the snap over his head into the end zone. There's so many more things I can't even remember. I was taking some notes here, trying to remember everything, because this first half I was about to rip into this squad. Like, I was about to be on the level of fire everybody, and it still may be on that level. But we definitely have to be happy today. But 5.5 to go. The Eagles on 2nd and 3. They have 3 yards. This was a common theme today. Again, we'll get to it eventually. I'm still not happy with the fact we don't run the ball. Sanders had 11 carries. Why? Because on the last 2 drives of the game, somebody finally woke up and realized that, running the ball actually, makes you a successful team. We've been screaming it for weeks, but with 5.5 to go, a 2nd and 3, we don't run the ball. It's I think it's an RPO or a play action. Hurts runs to the outside. Yeah, it was a play action. He runs to the outside, throws it away. And then on 3rd and 3, the Panthers bring a blitz, and we should have ran it again. And Hurts gets absolutely swallowed by the Carolina Panthers. By the way, our O-line, Jordan Mailata. I don't know why we moved this guy to the right tackle, because we did the same thing with Andre Dillard a couple years ago, and he was absolutely terrible. And the same thing happened with Mailata today. So I hope that didn't stint his growth or anything like that. But he gets sacked, and then on 4th and 4, Hurts has Zach Ertz wide open and throws it wide left, and it's a turnover. And at that point, we're like, okay, we just blew the game. So then the Philadelphia Eagles blocked the punt. I'm not even lying. The special teams actually made a play in this game, and we blocked the punt, and we have the ball right there again. We had a blocked punt. Darius Slay had 2 interceptions. Steven Nelson had an interception. The Eagles had 3 interceptions. You see what happens, Jonathan Gannon, when you use your corners the right way? Do you see what happens? We played a lot more press. Shout out to Jonathan Gannon. He made some adjustments. Now, our run defense definitely was not stout. I still think we could have got a little more pressure, but we got more pressure than we have. We played our corners up. This is what we brought guys like Darius Slay here for, to do that. Playing up on the man, following the best receiver. That's what Slay did. And he took it away twice. And then Steven Nelson with the biggest one in the entire game. So anyway, we blocked the punt. Then we end up throwing it to the 6-yard line. Jalen Hurts to Dallas Goedert. Then on the next play, Goddard drops a wide open pass as he's getting ready to trot into the end zone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we did not just do that, because that has happened so many times to this Eagles team in the last couple years. But then Jalen Hurts with the RPO, since Nick won't call a run, Hurts has to tuck it himself and take it in. We get a touchdown. And then we end up picking off the Carolina Panthers. Again, shout out to the corners and the secondary for making these plays. This is what happens when you force turnovers. It helped your team. And I'm surprised they did, because the defense was on the field all game long. All game long. They were on the field. And the defense just came up big play after big play. Now, I'll be honest, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. We got 50 in the chat. Let me know are the Carolina Panthers just an awful team? Because honestly, they looked terrible. Sam Darnold, I know he had 300 games in a row, 300 passing yard games in a row, and he looked awful. They didn't have Christian McCaffrey, their second running back, Chuba Hubbard. His name's Chuba. I call him Chuba. Chuba Hubba. He's running it down our throat, absolutely just, shredding us apart. And Carolina just couldn't do anything. There were a couple nice, plays we came up with. Avonte Maddox with that deflection. They bombed it downfield, had a touchdown, and Avonte came up with a huge play. I thought Harris had a couple nice plays. Even the D line, like, shout out to Javon Hargrave. This guy is on a historic pace. He had 2 sacks today? He was just absolutely ripping his team apart, ripping that O-line apart. And I know they had some guys banged up as well. Where is he at? Hargrave, he only had 1 sack, but he was all over them. He almost had another one until Darnold threw it away. And Fletcher Cox, who he finally makes an appearance, gets a sack. Josh Sweat with a sack. I mean, we were all over them. And in terms of the Carolina Panthers, like, their defense is pretty good. But their offense just looked absolutely terrible to me. Maybe they would be much better with Christian McCaffrey. But anyway, the Eagles make that stop. They end up running the ball. We actually ran the ball on the last 2 drives of the game, because, again, this entire game, at one point we had 40 passes and 10 rushes. And I don't mean to say this in a bad way, so don't take it in a personal way. Number one, this game, the fact that we won this game does not excuse the fact of how bad we played, and things must change, okay? Because from an offensive standpoint, shout out to Jalen Hurts, all right? In terms of Jalen Hurts, he came up big on the last 2 drives, big touchdown run, right? Couple big throws. He went in for a beautiful play on a 2-point conversion. I don't know how he got that off. Let's be honest, though. For most of this game, he still looked awful. And that's not all his fault, because the play calling, again, is atrocious. It is awful. I thought Doug Peterson's offense was so stale and boring to watch. This was 10 times worse. I mean, we go from throwing the ball downfield most plays, and this week, I mean, it seemed like the only play in the playbook was throwing under screens with no blockers. Like, come on, man. But yeah, I don't know how we pulled this game off. We weren't running the ball. We weren't throwing it down past 5 yards. The only time we were throwing it 5 yards was every third down. Like, I'm sitting in front of the television calling what is about to happen, and the Panthers knew that as well. Hurts had a couple interceptions, terrible throws. Or he had 1 interception. He almost had another one, though. And obviously the fumble into the end zone, which I don't know why Hurts didn't pick it up with 2 hands and throw it away. He just tries to tap it, and luckily it was a safety. But holy man. Yeah, I don't know. Do I just keep on going with the negatives, or do I because honestly, the last 2 drives, that's how we're supposed to play football. And They gave us too many chances. And we stayed in it and we got it done. Um, but the play calling was terrible. Okay. And I have a theory. Okay. Now, you might think I'm crazy. You're like, who's this guy on YouTube talking about, Philadelphia Eagles football? Because I was about to be done with this season. My theory, guys, let me know if you agree or disagree. I have a theory that Howie Roseman is running this team. I'm talking because I keep seeing Jalen go over there talking on the phones. Like, who are you talking to, Jalen? You throw a terrible interception 10 yards over Goddard's head. Or you throw there's one play early in the game where you have a free play. Great job by picking it up. And you throw it 10 yards out of bounds into the end zone. I think Howie Roseman is running this team. And you know what? The demise of this organization, the way everybody was feeling throughout the first 3 quarters, the way that things went from 4 years ago to now, one of the quickest demises. It all starts with Howie Roseman. And that's why I made a video 8 months ago. I was looking up the date of it, saying that this team won't succeed again on the top level until Howie is gone. I mean, what are we like? I'm sorry. Like, why did it take us all game to realize that the last two that on the last 2 drives of the game we could run the ball and run a balanced offense? Why did it take that long? How come in week 1 we look so crisp and clean, and ever since then it's like we don't know how to coach an offense? I don't understand. We don't use our tight ends. Dallas Goedert pretty much unutilized. Zach Ertz unutilized. We have these guys in the wrong situations. Devontae Smith, 7 catches for 77 yards. Shout out to Devontae. I did think Hurts was targeting him a little bit too much. He obviously had the terrible fumble. This game was absurd. I can't even remember all of the boneheaded turnovers from each team. Like, it was just going back and forth. It was like whoever wanted to try to win this game. Our defense kept us in this game, and they deserve a trophy today because of how good they played. At times they got tired, at times they sagged off, but overall they were on the field a long time. And this is the game I've been waiting for in terms of the corners. This is the game I've been waiting for. Seth, thank you for the donation, man. I told you about the phone ish last week. It's Howie B. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I see another comment. How do you blame bad games on a general manager? That's crazy talk. You're not understanding what I'm saying, Rob. You're not understanding. Listen closely. Decipher what I'm saying here. I'm not calling a bad game plan on the general manager. What I'm saying is that from this draft pick of Jalen Hurts and everything subsequent to that, everything has happened because of those bad decisions that came after the Super Bowl. And Howie admitted openly on the public stage that they should not have ran it back. And you have, certain guys being favorited. You have other draft picks out here who cannot play. And on top of that, you hire a puppet of a coach. Okay, like, what do you guys think? I mean, now it's looking a little bit different after we win the game. But is this coaching staff even going to be here after this season? Because you cannot, in your right mind, tell me that in week 1, everything clicked. And by the way, Jalen Hurts, I'm not sold on him, okay? But he looked very, very clean and just very online in week 1. And after that, the entire game plan changed, and he has gone downhill since. So are you telling me that in week 1, we just forgot everything we did? No. And I know people are going to try to hate on Miles Sanders because he couldn't get any separation out of the backfield because, the offensive line was bad and he wasn't having his best game. He had 11 carries for 45 yards. But the last drive, 2 plays in a row, he runs it to the outside and he's getting yards. We don't run outside at all. Nick Sirianni was finally learning some things in this game. We quarterback sneak it from the 1 yard line and get in. He wouldn't have done that before, but it has to be a complete product. I haven't seen a complete product. And I just think that the way that this organization has been handled, and a lot of people have blame on this. But let's be real here. Are we seeing anything different than we did last year? I thought we were supposed to get a fresh sense of things. I thought we were supposed to get that new taste. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it at all. And maybe are we just not as talented? Because I feel like we have some playmakers. And today, for example, Darius Slay was used to his advantages. I don't know. This was the weirdest game I've seen in a long time. Defense and special teams won the game. Yeah, it did. Shout out to the defense again. Javon Hargrave's a monster. The linebackers, I mean, they were okay. We were still getting the ball, ran on us pretty well. Chubba Hubba, as I call him, had over 100 rushing yards. He had 33 in the air. Like, that's not good. I don't know how we won this game. We got out-timed by almost 10 minutes. We went 2 for 4 in the red zone. By the way, we had another thing was the penalties. Now, we only had what? We only had 6. And pay attention to the fact I'm saying only 6 penalties in this game. Because that's our low. We had 14 more penalties than any other team, even coming into this game. And that has to stop because you can be all rah-rah you want. You can be like all ecstatic and stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to get this team disciplined. You got to get them under control. And another touchdown taken away by a penalty, a pick route. Really? Really, Greg Ward? Like, that's 4 in the last 2 weeks. 4 touchdowns taken away from this squad because of penalties. Just bad penalties. I mean, it's just the truth. And I don't know. This was just a weird one. More rushing yards for the Panthers. We only had 182 passing yards. They had 158. Darnold did not play well today. We were on him. We definitely were. I'm not even trying to sound negative here, but like, I'm just tired of every single game being like that. We either lose because we're the worst team or we win in dominating fashion. We win because we're a good team. You know what I mean? Like, this game was just not fun until the last couple minutes. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it feeling like this. And like, I don't want to sound the wrong way here, but like, is this game going to do us any benefit winning this game? Let me know. Let me know. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just asking you. Is winning this game, like, did this save our season? Yeah, essentially, like, if we lose this game, we probably lose Thursday, and then, it's not looking well. But what I will say is, like, are we going to catch up to Dallas? Are we going to catch up to whoever else? Like, is it really that important to win this? Like, I want to know how this organization views this team. Because the way we've been playing, like, until the last couple minutes today, like, I don't know. And let me know, is Jalen Hurts the guy? Like, couple bad decisions again. My thing on Jalen Hurts, like, my take to him to this point, like I said, this season we got to give him a chance. My take on Hurts is that he'll go through like a stretch of decent plays. Like, he'll play pretty well, and then he just looks awful, like out of nowhere. He'll just overthrow it by 15 yards. He throws off 1 foot. How about before halftime? He has Quez Watkins. I've never seen a man so open in my life. And he missed that. Like, is he a first read quarterback only? Does he go through his progressions? Does he not see these things? He eventually hit Quez Watkins on a game-changing play, but he had a wide open touchdown at the end of the first half, man. I'm not trying to be too negative. I'm just being honest with how I feel. And Sanders still isn't utilized enough. What did we finish with? Because we started to run the ball in the last two drives. Let's see. We threw the ball 37 times. We ran it 22. That's still not enough for me. But if you take away the last couple drives, I mean, we probably ran the ball legit like what 10 to 15 times again as a team. I just don't think that's good enough. Um Miles Sanders ran out of bounds there. That was stupid. And that I look, Miles Sanders isn't a golden boy. Like that was stupid. Now I didn't agree with running it to the outside, but why go out of bounds? Like that was so stupid. And then on that third down, it was the 3rd and 4 before Hurts missed the 4th and 4 to Ertz. The 3rd and 4, you throw a wheel route to Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell hasn't even been in a game. I don't understand it, man. Like this, like does every game have to be an emotional roller coaster? Like, I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's read some comments because honestly, I need you guys to keep me in check here. I don't know how to feel after this. Part of me's happy and part of me is not. Lawrence James, what up, RB? We look bad and still wound up with the W, so we're either good enough to beat the Panthers or the Panthers are just that bad. It's a good way to put it. I mean, they gave us a lot of opportunities just like we gave them. Dirty Kenzo, what's up, my guy? Hey, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. We got 80 people in the chat. Let's see. These comments. Sirianni doesn't know how good Miles Sanders. I don't think he really appreciates him, to be honest. Nick says, I'm proud of Gannon. He got ripped apart in meetings and handled his game plan like a good coordinator is supposed to. I'll give him credit. He put together a much better game plan today, no doubt. Bro, Jalen Reagor is officially a bust. He spends more time posting on social media. What's up, Matt? Yeah, I'm not big on Jalen Reagor, and I'm just not seeing it from him. I think Quez Watkins. What do you guys think? I think Quez Watkins is better than Jalen Reagor. Honestly, Jalen Reagor is pretty much our return man. That's what he is. So, bro, what's up with your man? He's a young quarterback. Let the young boy grow. Don't even give a chance to develop into nothing. It's kind of crazy. Every channel is kind of getting annoying. Well, don't watch it then. You know what I mean? This is my opinion, and these are my takes. It's just a fact. I'm not even hating on the guy. I'm speaking what I see. So you can talk about growing this and that. When you're missing guys by 10 yards downfield, that's not growing. That's a matter of talent. Wake up call. It's just a fact. So, but yes, I agree that the coaching has put him in even a worse situation, the worst play calling. Like the fact that the play calling has gotten tremendously worse from last year, it's insane to me. It really is. Like, but yeah, first time coaches, so who knows? Sean says, yes, a young team learns how to overcome adversity and win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a good win for the young guys for sure to win that game. But still, I mean, there's so much they got to work on. There really is. One thing from the Eagles defense, it was 3rd and 15 with 2:18 to go. Obviously it didn't burn us, but it could have. A 3rd and 15, we're playing off when we let them get a first. Can't do that. At one point in this game in the first half, I wrote this down because it was my favorite. It was hilarious. In the second quarter, Hurts had thrown the ball, I think, 20 times, and he had like 32 yards. He was averaging, or no, he had 38 yards. He was averaging 1.8 yards per attempt. Nick Sirianni said he was trying to get him in a rhythm, yet it felt like we were calling the same plays every single time. Like, what was the playbook like? Honestly. The Eagles at one point in this game had 50 yards of penalties and 49 yards of offense. We came out of the gate, ran the ball once, and threw it 10 times. Like, those things just don't happen on a good team. I'm just being honest. And I'm not trying to hate. We went through the same thing last year. If we would just balance this offense and run the ball more, I really think we'd have a couple more wins. But I don't know. I don't know. It just wasn't consistent for me, but we got the win. And not everyone is pretty, Sixers Inspector, what's up, my man? Welcome on in. He's not perfect, but he won the game. Well, I mean, he was pretty bad, but he did have a couple great drives, so shout out to him. This will do a lot for a guy like that. I think they ran about 20 screens in the first half. Unbelievable. I don't think it's a big deal. The team is young and will be bad regardless. The season should be focused on improving what's really bad with this team, but that's just my opinion. Well, then again, what is bad? Like, what is the biggest factor right now that you look at and you're like, why? That's a valid question. Hurts has a lot to learn. Yeah, he does. He definitely does. He's a rookie. He'll get better. Uh, can't get better with Nick's play calling. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if I have to point to something at the top of my list of issues, it is the play calling. That comes before anything else because you got to get your rookie quarterback in a rhythm. You got to get your running back the ball. You have to switch things up. Like, there should be no reason that I'm calling plays before they happen. So I hate the two linebacker defense. I don't understand the defense sometimes, but I do think that these boys ate up front today. And I think that we finally allowed our corners to play how they should. Darius Slay had what? One interception in 19 games. He had two today. And that ain't just because he became a father this week. It's because he was pressing up on the opponent's best receiver. This is how I know Slay can play. He's a hawk. Everybody was talking a bunch of crap to Slay this week. He came out and balled, as he should. As he should. Stop talking about Hurts. He's not the problem. I'm tired of the hate because our offensive line is brutal. I mean, it's definitely still fair to talk about Jalen Hurts because some of his decision making is terrible. But you're right. There are other issues as well. Mine at the top of the list is the fact that our play calling is terrible. Like, I don't care who you have on your team. If all you call is 15 out of 17 plays are screens, you're not going to be successful. But it definitely is fair to still critique other guys. It is. So dude freaked out, and next thing it went to your live stream. Don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm just happy I won this parlay because the Packers almost screwed me over. And yeah, that was an interesting game. And Washington lost, and the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Giants right now. So things are interesting. Things are definitely interesting. I want your thoughts in the chat. Give me everything that you're feeling right now. Are you happy, mad? Are there still things you're worried about? What are your feelings? What is the top issue and what is the main thing you're happy about with this game? Let me know right now in the chat. I'm going to keep reading things out. But before we do that, this is presented by BetQL. And speaking of BetQL, like I said, they just helped me cash in on a parlay. So shout out to them. If you want to get an advantage over your sports book, BetQL is the perfect app for you. Their best bet model scans 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet recommendation across all major sports for every game. They cover spreads, over, unders, player props. I went 4 games on the money line, and Green Bay sealed it thanks to BetQL. They give you all the information you need in real time. They have some of the sharpest analytics. And if you want to take your sports betting to another level, just like I am, go ahead and download BetQL on the App Store or Google Play Store, or click the link down in the description. Use promo code RB for 25% off of any subscription offering. And be sure to check out the special BetMGM offer as well in the description if you are in an eligible state to claim $200 in free bets, no matter whether your wager wins or not. Again, promo code RB, 25% off. All the information down below in the description. All right, back to it. How do we feel? How do we feel? Like, what are is the season revived? Do we have hope? Let me know. John, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Ugly win, but it's a win. Could say it's payback from that one year where we were up 17-3 and lost to them. That was an ugly game. And for some reason, I kept thinking about that game today. And is it me? Am I freaking out? Or does it feel like every game whether we win or lose. It feels like every game comes down to this like heartbreaking or just roller coaster ride. Every game is like it's so high intensity, high pressure. Every game. But yeah, John, I'm actually surprised we won this game. And honestly, like it was a good win for the Eagles, but the Panthers just do not look good to me. They just don't look good. Like, and I'm still worried that we have issues surrounding this squad. We play Tampa Bay on Thursday. We have a couple days rest. Tampa Bay blew out the Miami Dolphins. Then we got to play Brady, and then we go to the West Coast. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but definitely some things you can build on in this game. And man, it's just one of those games in sports that happen where you just look at it and you after the game you reflect and you go, what just happened? The Eagles get it done and come back fast. That I'm telling you, that was the weirdest, that was one of the weirdest games I've seen in a long time. Uh thought Hurts got rid of the ball a few times, which was good. Still some weapons that I don't think we're utilizing enough, like Kenneth Gainwell, Dallas Goedert, but we'll see. Thought Slay again did a great job. Um, TJ Edwards. How about TJ Edwards on that blocked punt we were talking about? That was a huge play. That completely changed this game. But Pat says, am I the only one that noticed Bradley falling the blocked punt like it's college football? He had a clear path to the end zone. Yeah, I did see that. That was interesting. That was interesting. But I really thought when Goddard dropped that first pass from Jalen Hurts, I really thought we were going to get screwed again. And I was like, come on, man. But we ended up getting it done. Seth's his top issue play calling and OC. Happiness, loving Devontae Smith and Quez's growth. Still think we need that big X receiver to complete this core. I agree. Jalen Rager is not it, man. I like Devontae. I thought he had, he lost that one pass, obviously, or fumbled it, but him and Quez overall, like they were getting open. They were doing their thing, even though we weren't using them early on. And when their number were called, they were ready. They were ready. So, man, talking about Big Cat's live stream. He's a Panthers fan. He was live streaming after the game. He freaked out because the Panthers lost and the stream broke suddenly. I'm in your live. Hey, Philip, what's going on, man? Welcome on in. If it's your first time, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you being here. To be real, if I was a Carolina Panthers fan and I lost this game after how many opportunities we had and they were 3-0 and now they fall to 3-2, I probably would be freaking out as well. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Nick Sirianni says the biggest thing I learned about this team is its fight. Okay. Okay. Saquon carted to the locker room with an ankle injury. That's not good. Tom Brady showed up at a press conference with his right hand wrapped. Wonder if he's hurting a little bit. By the way, our punter, I know he shanked that one punt off the side of his foot, but overall, our punter, he's pretty good. And Jake Elliott's been pretty good as well. I feel like nobody's been talking about him, but um yeah, our special teams stepped up today. They stepped up. And I feel like Eagles fans are going to be split on this one. I really do. Sixers Inspector, shout out to you. Chiquita, what's up? Aaron, what's up? Cowboys are playing the Giants. Never had confidence in Rager since he was drafted. Yeah. Steven Nelson says he thinks we are a tough team. Darius Slay. Again, Darius Slay followed DJ Moore all game. Followed him all game. Is it a coincidence that us Eagles fans know the team like the back of our hand? Like, how long have we been saying to let our corners go out and do their thing? How, like, it should not take this long to realize who Darius Slay is. He's never played in the right scheme with this squad. It's not a coincidence that one year that he had what, 7, 9 interceptions. It's not a coincidence. The guy's an all-pro corner. You're so accurate on your takes on Hurts. I'm just speaking it how I see it, like I'm not always right. The next guy's not always right. I'm just talking how I see it. I don't know if he can be the guy long term. The play calling must be better, but he had a couple nice drives and he got it done. And again, Jalen Hurts to me, in my personal opinion, is a guy that will make, like I said, he'll have a couple really good drives and then he'll be inconsistent for a long time. And he has bad decision making. He overthrows guys, but then, he comes up with a couple big drives. That's what I'm seeing when it comes to Jalen Hurts. I still think he can use more help, especially maybe a running back, right? Or a better play caller, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think at the end of the day, though, long term, I think we need to wait and see how this team feels about him going forward, but I mean, we can't win many games if we're playing this bad in halves, like the first half we had 3 points? Like it was terrible. Big plays out of the secondary. Play calling is frustrating. We stepped up when we needed. I agree 100%, Kenzo. I agree. Let's see. Seth with the $5 donation. Thank you, Seth. Much love to you, man. I'm scared about this team. This was a bad game for us that we won by the skin of our teeth. Play calling is bad. Changes coming. Rager is a bust. Yeah. What do you guys feel about the coaching staff as a whole? Does the coaching staff even have control? Because, as crazy as it may sound, like, I don't think that the Eagles are that far away in terms of a talent perspective from being a decent team. Like, we still have some quality vets. We have some guys with some really good upside. But I don't see us being like so far down in the trenches, like being a 3-win team in terms of talent. I don't see that. Now, I don't see us being a 12-win team either, but I just think the coaches have not gotten the most out of a lot of players. And that's just how I feel about it. And I just never would have thought, especially after week 1, that I'm feeling the same way about the offensive play calling and a lot of other things than I did last year. In fact, worse. Could this be a 1-year deal and we go and get an experienced coach next year? In fact, let me know if you think this could happen. What if the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Because Miami lost. Did the Colts play today? I don't know if they played today. But right now, we have 3 picks in the top 10 of the draft. I don't know if we do now since we won, but I know it's around that 10 range. We could ideally have 3 top 12 picks. What if we go and get a quarterback? Just say Hurts, they don't want to move forward with him. We get a quarterback, hopefully a new GM, and we get a new experienced coach. And we have some good receivers on his team, some good tight ends. I don't know what's going on, why they're not using tight ends, but could that be a possibility? Is Nick Sirianni here just for like a pivot year? Are we trying to tank? I don't know. I don't know. Because Howie Roseman, when it comes to those draft picks, I mean, he's salivating. He's sitting up in that office. He's calling Jalen on that phone. He's salivating. Howie Roseman salivates over the idea of a quarterback. He's like, I'm telling you, like, I was literally playing around when he called him on that phone. He was like, hey, Jalen. He was like, keep throwing that ball. It's funny how he gets a call right after an interception. Either that was Shane Steichen or that was Howie Roseman. Hey, Jalen, keep on throwing it 15 yards over your man. All right, I got to stop playing around. But um, should we have even gotten rid of Doug Peterson, a guy that at least won a Super Bowl for this? And you know what's funny? I was having a conversation during this game. You remember when we interviewed Josh McDaniels for like half of a day? I think it was 10 to 12 hours. You don't interview a coach and not hire them after you interview them for 12 hours. I have a theory that Josh McDaniels wanted things done his way, and I don't think he told them till they were halfway into that interview. And Howie Roseman was like, you know what? No, I want my power as well. And they said, all right, bye. And Nick Sirianni just came in, they gave him the job. I don't know. But like all I'm saying is like the one thing that really bothers me is like, how do you not clean up the penalties? How is this team still this undisciplined? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But if there is a win that can get your guys going, it's a win like this. If there's a win that can give you some confidence because you're sitting at 2-3 instead of 1-4, that's a huge game. That is a huge game. So I don't know. That's what happens when we run the damn ball. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. The last two drives, we woke up and we ran the ball. 6 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry. That's what happens when you run the ball. Or Jalen keeps it himself. I also didn't like the play calls when we were trying to secure the last first down. We did a couple shovel options. Like, what? Get a first down. I don't get it. Sirianni's one and done. I'm not a fan of the coaching staff at all. More of Doug, bad use of talent. I don't know what these guys are doing sometimes. And without like actually going back and looking at some things, like I just feel like sometimes we have the wrong personnel in the game. I feel like sometimes the right players are not in the right positions. But maybe I'm just looking at that. Maybe that's just how I'm looking at it. Um I'm annoyed we didn't use Sanders and Goddard a lot. Yeah. 4 plays, 27 yards on the go-ahead fourth quarter drive. Hurts runs it in for a 6-yard touchdown after Goddard dropped one wide open. Philly Shad, what's up, my guy? I don't want any more changes. We need some type of continuity. Nick and the staff just have to do better. I hope they can. I hope they can. I hope they have the will to do so and the flexibility. Colson play. I know that because of BetQL. Shout out to you. Scouts need to be better. That's a fact. Yeah, some of these like we have to start cutting ties with some of these draft picks, you know what I mean? That just don't work out. I'm tired of it. I think young coach needs a vet quarterback. Wilson or Rogers vet coach needs young quarterback. But veteran quarterback coaches would clash with Howie. Howie's the main issue personality wise. Yeah. I mean, just seeing how we've gone from the Super Bowl year till now, it's disappointing. But I'm looking at the Lions coach over here crying. The Lions can't get a win, man. Lions are having trouble. Oh, Saquon's ankle does not look good. Does not look good. Honestly, it's a good win. It's good to get a win, but I just hope that we still work on the things that need to be worked on. You can't have this many penalties. You got to have a better game plan because when we play better teams, like when we play on Thursday against the Buccaneers, let's be honest, are we going to win that game? I'm kind of scared of what's going to happen. So, but if anybody could beat Brady, if nobody has a chance, maybe the underdog story comes back. Seth, thank you for the $5 donation, my guy. Appreciate you. Says we got the talent. Think we're a couple linebackers X wide receiver and OC away from a great team. Don't want Howie picking them. Hurts with the right OC and the run is okay. I agree with that. I agree. I think some of his flaws can be masked. Some if we have a better game plan. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling. But yeah, our linebackers are still terrible. Can't tackle a thing. Terrible in coverage. I'm glad that we actually called more man today because we would have got shredded apart like we have been. People, what's that? There was one guy on the radio talking bad about Devontae this week. He obviously shut him up. Look at Baltimore to see what adapting looks like. Exactly. That's all it is. You know, you got to have the talent as well, but you got to have the good coaching. You got to have good play calling and all that. You said the same thing about the Saints last year. What did I say about the Saints? What did I say about the Saints? I hope it's at least a close game. Well, we at least need to put up a fight, you know? We got to put up a fight because if we don't put up a fight and if we lose the next couple games, then what was the point of winning this game? I mean, I guess you could say the young guys with a learning curve, but still, like this is the type of win that can turn you around. But a lot of things have to be worked out. A lot of things. Brady hates the Eagles, lost in the Super Bowl the most. I know. And that's why I don't want Brady to shred us apart. I hate Brady, but I still respect how great he is. I mean, he's the greatest ever. But I still hate him. I still hate him. I wish I could see Minshew without Hurts being benched. Yeah, it would never happen. I honestly thought if the Eagles lost this game today, I thought you were going to hear people really wanting to fire Nick Sirianni and maybe bench Jalen Hurts. But it won't come up at all now. I like Davion Taylor, but we don't use him, not even when he makes plays. What do you think? I just think he needs more like experience. I like his intangibles, but I think he can move all over the field, but he needs a little more time in my opinion. And I think he was a stretch and a reach in the third round. But I mean, we'll have to see. I still feel like we don't have like that playmaking linebacker. I still feel like we don't have that dominant linebacker that we've been seeking for years. That's just my opinion though. So, but the offense made a couple key late drives. Defense held it down, and somehow, some way, the Eagles pull it out. You might come out on fire. That you're scared what's going to happen to us in the Bucs game. I mean, that's a little bit different. We were playing Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? Plus, it was Hurts' first start, and when it's your first start, you're a little bit juiced up, a little bit different. But we'll see. We'll see. Compare that to what you said about the Saints. Again, the Saints game is completely different. Completely different. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't like Brady because he beat the Chiefs. Dallas 10, Giants nothing. Yeah, Dallas is going to blow them away. It's going to be it's hard for me to see us catching up in the division, to be honest. But this fan base is going to be split for a while. They're going to be split for a while. That's just how it goes. Let me check on some of these other scores. Yeah, Washington stinks as well, to be honest. Washington stinks. Patriots won somehow. We haven't had a decent one since Michael Kendricks. Yeah, exactly. And he was decent. He wasn't even like we haven't had a playmaker. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, Only games Hurts played bad was against the Cowboys last season and this season. I can't. I mean, he's played bad in a couple more than that. This dude's stuck on the Saints. What is he saying? You said I said I was worried about the Saints last year, but that was before I heard that Taysom Hill was going to be starting the game. So that was a lot different. That's nothing like playing Tom Brady in the Bucks. Honestly, you only ever need one great linebacker and run nickel and dime most of the time. Well, we don't run dime according to Jonathan Gannon, and we just don't have any linebackers. Like Eric Wilson is bad, Singleton is bad. We just have some projects. That's what we have. So if you're drafting next year, are you drafting a quarterback? It depends. It depends what happens and what we see. But I still want to see better play calling first. I want to see better play calling. I can't, it's hard to assess with this team right now because I feel like we have playmakers, but we don't have play calling. So, yeah, a lot of crazy games, but give me your overall thoughts. What's something you want to see more of? We'll be on here for like 10 more minutes, and then we'll get out of here. Um, give me your overall take on the game. I'm trying to get a pulse of how Eagles fans feel. I'm trying not to go crazy here because, like, I wonder what the talk of the town is going to be for this team the next couple days. I wonder what the talk of the town, like, are people just going to blow over what we did bad because we won, or are people going to get a, still have a balanced view of things? I think it'll be interesting. I think you'll have people one end of the spectrum saying that, Hurts is the guy and we revived ourselves. And then I think there will be other people who are just like, you know what? It's not it. It's not it. So we'll see. While you guys are doing that, let me know in the chat. Give me your thoughts. I am going to tell you about BetQL once again because I just won a 4-game parlay. Shout out to BetQL. The teams that I picked today, by the way, I'll let you know. I picked the Steelers to beat the Broncos. I picked the Saints to beat Washington. I picked the Titans to beat the Jaguars, and I picked the Packers to beat the Bengals. And all of that happened. And that's because of BetQL. So shout out to BetQL, the only app you'll need to be your sportsbook today. If you want to get an advantage over your sportsbook, BetQL is the app for you. Their best bet model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet recommendation across all major sports for every single game. They cover spreads, over, unders, player props. They even give you all news and other information you need to succeed on your bets in real time. They have some of the sharpest analytics. They really go into detail, and they just help you. They help you win more bets. So if you're looking forward to a lot more success when it comes to sports betting, go ahead and download BetQL on the App Store or Google Play Store, or click the link down in the description. Use promo code RB for 25% off, and be sure to check out the special BetMGM offer in the description as well. If you're in an eligible state to receive $200 in free bets, no matter whether you win or not. You can find all this information down below in the description. And again, shout out to BetQL and shout out to them for sponsoring this content. Bunchy says we won, but the play calling is terrible. I agree. Ugly game on both ends of the field. It's really one of those games you look back and it's like, what even happened in this game? What even happened in this game? I bet a lot of fans aren't happy with this. And yeah, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people like that in terms of, what was the point and why, we played so bad. I don't know how we won the game though. 3-2, second and third. Yeah. We didn't run the ball. BetQL is great. Shout out to you. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Shaking my head. I hate our coaches. It's a solid win towards overall growth. All right, Sean, with the optimism. I love it. We can't gauge our players. What don't y'all get? Play calling is garbage juice, It's impossible to evaluate the team. It's embarrassing. I've never been embarrassed after a win, but I am. It's weird. It really is weird. Like, you don't want to lose, but it's like these things just can't keep happening. Usually we end up on the wrong side of these things, but it's weird. It's weird. So I don't know how we won, but I'm not complaining. I hear you. I hear you. Uh, who do we have on our team that suggests we will dominate a 3-1 Panthers team? I don't know what that means, but who do we have on our team to suggest we're going to make 10 terrible mistakes? Like, it's not even about winning or losing. It's just the fact of making the same mistakes over and over again and not being disciplined as a team. It doesn't matter if you're a first year coach, if you're a 12th year coach, you need to put in certain rules and you need to really teach these guys. So I don't know. Elliott and Sipas have been automatic. They've been great. They've been great. Reverse Titans game when the Eagles lost to the Titans with Schwartz stick defense and Corey Davis 3 touchdowns. Yeah. This is a year for auditions, not as concerned about wins and losses, not to that point. I agree with that. I agree. And that's why I had this team at 7 wins, because I don't expect that much, but I want to see growth and progress. I want to see us doing the right things. So I think we expect too much. I just think we expect a normal game. Yes, we may not be as talented as other teams, but we got to play our game, you know? Yes, we should be 3-1. Watching Eagles games will show how to lose football games. Sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie. And sometimes when you tie, you actually win. I'm not even going to try to think about that, Richie, but that's a good one. Oh, man. Jalen Hurts can be Nick Foles on wheels. It's all we need. Balance. Annoying offense makes you want to blitz. I just think we need more balance in our game. And again, it just goes like, I'm not going to keep repeating the same things, but like, we just got to run the ball and get in a rhythm. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. If we do that and Jalen Hurts can't hit the throws, all right, then we have another issue. But like, let's just play a sound game. Let's just play a sound game. Week 1, we played a sound game. Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we replicate the game plan? Give Sanders some touches. See what he can do. Give him a few games. Let him get in his groove. Use the tight ends. Right? Make it easier for your rookie quarterback. Not asking for too much, man. We expect decent coaching in a run game. That's what I'm saying. So, again, I'm happy we got the win, but I'm still trying to be realistic. Still things you can improve on. That's for any team. But for us, there's a lot. There's a lot. Like, it took a couple late turnovers and, you know, it took a blocked punt and we got it done. But weird game. Weird game. Nick Sirianni got a pardon by Eagles fans for some time longer. He's going to come out not running the ball X length. And you know, my last point that I'll make before we end this, and I want to know what you guys think about this, right? This guy comes out to the media every single week and they ask him about running the ball. And every single week, the guy says, it is my fault, which I like. That's accountability. It's my fault. We're going to run the football more. I got to get the ball in Miles' hands more. He says that every week. He says it every Monday. Yet when it comes to game day, he doesn't. So is that Nick Sirianni just not knowing how to coach a game? Is that the Eagles not believing in Miles Sanders? Or is that Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie having influence? That's the question I want to pose to the chat. We got 70 people in here. Guys, drop a like, sub if you're new. We will be live streaming the Sixers game tomorrow, so be sure to come out to that. But give me your thoughts on that. I would love to know what the issue is when it comes to running the ball. Not even Kenneth Gainwell could get carries today. I just want to know. I want to know. In fact, it was so bad at one point. If you guys don't know, there was a Eagles fan that went running onto the field. Now, they didn't show it on the TV broadcast because, well, they're not supposed to, and they're not supposed to promote that. But you know what's so funny? Like I was laughing pretty hard at this. There was an ongoing joke on Twitter that the guy that ran onto the field, there was an ongoing joke that the guy that ran onto the field in the second quarter had more rushing yards than Miles Sanders. Now you tell me, when it gets that bad, I mean, even Eagles, there was a lot of Eagles fans in Carolina, actually. And when the Eagles players came out of the tunnel, when the running back core came out of the tunnel, our fans started chanting, run the ball. What other message do we need? What other message do we need? that was some funny stuff. I can't even lie. Like that was great. That was great. I know everyone hates Howie. I just hate his draft decisions. I think if Lori gave him less power, he'd be the guy. I don't know. Some of these draft picks just are not working. And I think some of them are still in because it's a pride thing. I think it's a pride thing. Think that's Howie RB. He's on the block phone with Jalen, telling him to throw every RPO. Don't listen to Nick, Jalen. Listen to me. Philly Talk Podcast, my guy in the building. What's up, Philly Mike? Sanders finally gets carries and he doesn't go out. But I agree. That was stupid by Miles Sanders. But let me ask you, Philly Mike, like, let's be honest. He didn't start getting the ball really to the last couple drives. Like, yeah, at some point he had like 6 carries in the game. That was it. We finally woke up and realized how to go down the field on a 5-minute drive in the fourth quarter. But other than that, it's like we're still not giving him enough touches. Like, we're not letting him get his feet under him and get in a rhythm. So I still feel like he's not being utilized. And I just think, when you have 37 passes and 10 carries at one point in the game, it's like, come on, man. And again, the question I pose to the chat, every week this guy comes out and says it's my fault. We're going to run the ball more, and we don't. So I'm just not I'm not anticipating it anymore. I'm not anticipating anymore. I'm just going to expect us to keep throwing and throwing, and we'll see what happens. We don't run the ball on second and shorts, first and 10s. We don't. Free Sanders is a real thing. Yeah. Lurie orders him not to run the ball. Michael, what's up, bro? What's up? Thanks for having the most fire takes. Penalties killing us like crazy. Also feel like we got to utilize the tight ends more. I agree 100%. Running backs and tight ends, utilize more and more. I think we need to, like I said earlier, if you missed some of the stream, I don't understand why I am calling the plays before they happen. Like, why am I the person calling them? And I'm sure you are too, sitting on your couch like, all right, here comes a 3rd and 4. Here comes a little screen pass or a little throw for 3 yards over the middle. Like, why can we call that? Should be like that. Larry's turning into Jerry Jones. If we can draft a linebacker in the first round, I'll stop reading it there. It's not going to happen. That's the problem. We keep trying the same thing. What the quote, the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We keep doing the same thing. We don't run the ball. We don't get playmakers in terms of linebackers. Same thing. Miles of Sanders papers. I don't get it. Did you look at the time of possession? It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's terrible. It's gotten worse from last year, which I never thought would happen. But Gainwell's looking like a great backup. He did look like a great backup. We don't use him. We don't use them anymore. We use them for the first play of the game the biggest play of the game on a third down on a wheel route. We use them on a wheel route on 3rd and 4 when we need a first down. Like, how does that make sense? You throw a guy in there cold. I don't get it. I don't get it. Run it back, Philly. What's going on, bro? Nick Sirianni sucks. A better coach could help Hurts, but I don't think that makes him good enough to be the future. Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I said. He can put together strings of drives and look decent, but overall, there's just too much inconsistency right now. Like missing throws by 8 yards or not going through your progressions. There's just things that if they continue, this organization is not going to trust him going forward into the future. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't pan out, then again, we go back and look at all the things that have happened since he was drafted in 2019. And it's like, bad decisions. Bad decisions. So I agree. Mina says it's insane how little Goddard and Ertz. And that's the crazy part. Like, aren't we supposed to be finding out who is what now and who we are going to pay? It won't happen, but really both of these guys could just get up, pack their bags, and walk at the end of the season. Because we've created another controversy that makes no sense. Makes no sense. We're never drafting a linebacker. Yeah, we don't draft linebackers. It's unfortunate. It is. Pull the Band-Aid off this Thursday. Ertz is not listed as a start on the first play. J-Jaw needs to never wear a uniform. I don't know what he does, but yeah, at the end of the day, the best way I can wrap this up here is just, I don't know how we won this game. I don't. A lot needs to be fixed. I'm happy we won the game. It could be the type of win that turns us around, but I'm still not feeling that confident. And I'll leave it at that. Shout out to everybody for coming through. Shout out to BetQL for sponsoring the content. Only app you'll need to beat your sportsbook today. Use the promo code RB for 25% off of any subscription offering. All information down below. That being said, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Eagles get the dub 21-18, 2-3, and we're on a short week. We are on a short week. We'll see what happens on Thursday. That being said, shout out to everybody. You guys have a great rest of your night, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.